Greetings, everybody. Welcome to an overcast Hobart-Detter Field. This is a midweek game between the Hutchinson Blue Dragons and the Barton Cougars on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Steve Carpenter with you as the Blue Dragons continue to surge forward toward the postseason, which is now just a couple of weeks away. They want to end up where the Barton Cougars ended up last year, and that's in Grand Junction. The Cougars are the defending Region 6 champion. These were also the two teams that were picked 1-2 in the Jayhawk West in 2019. This is a non-league game. Hutchinson already won that series 3-1 back in early March. So the Blue Dragons and Cougars meeting, I believe, for the fifth straight year for a non-conference game. It's gone back and forth between home sites. So the Dragons and Cougars getting set to go here. After this one, just 8 games remain for Hutchinson, all league games, and they are huge. Right now, Hutchinson tied atop the Jayhawk West with their opponent this weekend, the Colby Trojans. So the 2 games on Thursday at Colby and the 2 games Saturday here at Hobart-Detter Field will be monumental. All 4 games will be streamed on the network. We'll stream the last 2. Open Spaces Sports will take care of the first 2, as I will have to be out of town for a couple days to take care of some family business. Thought about maybe going to Colby, but unfortunately my presence is required on Thursday and Friday in the state of Nebraska. Blue Dragons coming in with a record of 31-16. They took 3 of 4 from Seward County after a pitching duel in 2 straight games here at Hobart-Detter Field last Thursday. The things changed around as Hutchinson's offense exploded for 26 runs and 30 hits. In sweeping Seward County there to take 3 out of 4. The Blue Dragons are now 4-0-2 in conference series. 4 wins, 2 ties, and no series losses. Barton comes in after a 2-2 split with the Butler Grizzlies over the weekend. Very lucky that they are 2-2 in Game 2 after Butler won the first game on Thursday at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. Lost at Biggs Field in Great Bend. The Cougars trailed Butler 5-0 going into the 8th inning. It scored 6 in the bottom of the 8th to win 6-5 to get the split. Actually, those games were in Great Bend, yes, on Thursday, and then the scene moved to El Dorado on Saturday. Barton coming in 29-17 overall, just 4-6 in their last 10. And again, they dropped 2 in a row, 15-13 in the Jayhawk West. They are currently 6th. They only have 1 conference series remaining. They have their bye this week, and then we'll close out the regular season in a couple of weeks. Hutchinson's already had its bye. They have Colby and Cloud County remaining in the conference schedule. Let's get to the starting lineups. First for the Barton Cougars, leading off and playing first base will be Nolan Riley. Batting second and playing second base is Brett Erickson. Batting third will be the right fielder, Harrison Dank. Noah Geeky bats fourth and plays left field for the Cougars. Trenton Ferguson is the designated hitter and batting fifth. Batting sixth will be the shortstop, Andrew Stewart. Batting seventh and playing center field, Billy Coleman. Batting eighth will be the third baseman, Adam Schrag. And batting ninth, the catcher, Chandler Bloomer. Starting pitcher for the Cougars today is Patrick McClure. So it's Riley, Erickson, Dank, Geeky, Ferguson, Stewart, Coleman, Schrag, and Bloomer, and Patrick McClure on the mound. For the Blue Dragons, it'll be Will Reitz in center field leading off. Batting second will be the shortstop, Logan Sartori. Zane Schmidt bats third. He's the designated hitter this afternoon. Riley Metzger plays left field and bats fourth. Dylan Nedved bats fifth and plays third base. Batting sixth is the first baseman, Zach Baxley. Ryan Moritz bats seventh and plays second base. The catcher, Max McClure, bats eighth. And Zion Bolin gets the start in right field. He bats ninth. Freshman Brian Skillman on the mound for the Blue Dragons to start this one out. So for Ryan Schmidt's Blue Dragons, it's Reitz, Sartori, Schmidt, Metzger, Nedved, Baxley, Moritz, McGuire, and Bolin, and Brian Skillman on the mound. Again, overcast skies, temperature coolish in the low 60s, but it is dry. Had a little rain this morning. That probably helped the field out a little bit. The infield here at Hobart-Detter was starting to get a little bit hard, and a little moisture wouldn't hurt it. Field looks great as Hobart-Detter really springing into action in terms of its maturity and greenness as spring has finally sprung in South Central Kansas. Time for the national anthem. When we return, it's the Cougars and the Blue Dragons live from Hobart-Detter Field. This is Blue Dragon Baseball. Brian Skillman begins to take his warm-up tosses for the Blue Dragons. 5'11", 175-pound freshman lefty out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Skillman on the season is 1-0 with a 3.38 earned run average. He is making his second start, fifth overall appearance, part of one combined shutout. Just 8 innings for Brian's, 4 hits, 4 runs. He has struck out 13 and walked 4, and opponents hitting just 143 against. He takes aim at a Cougar lineup, hitting .271 for the year. Not a ton of power by the Cougars this year, just 10 home runs compared to Hutchinson's 65. Again, these two teams met, I believe it was the first conference or second conference go around of the year. Dragons took 3 of 4, splitting in Great Bend, and the Dragons sweeping here. So we're about set to go. Steve Carpenter with you. Again, thanks for joining us. This is the Spring Fling, so if you're a Blue Dragon student, come on out and get some free goodies. So Brian Skillman set to face Nolan Riley, and here we go. Thanks for joining us here on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. First pitch from the left-hander, over but low. First pitch coming at 4:59 p.m. The wind in the 1-0. That's at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Nolan Riley hitting .322 for the year, 47 total hits, 9 doubles, a home run, and 31 RBIs. On base of .425. Skillman's 1-1 is lifted to shallow right. In comes Zion Bolin. Makes the catch one-handed, and there's one away. And the Dragons took 3 of 4 from Seward County, sweeping at Brent Gould Field and Liberal on Saturday, and an offensive onslaught. That due in part to the wind blowing out about 300 miles per hour. Over-exaggerating, but you get the idea. Skillman now faces Brett Erickson, and it's a strike on the outer half. Erickson hitting .308 for the year, no home runs, 16 RBIs, 40 total hits. Cougars is 4-6 in their last 10. Now 6th place in the Jayhawk West. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Skillman, and it's 0-2. Skillman's only other start came earlier this month on April 3rd against the Sterling College JV. That offering is fouled off to the right out to the parking lot by Erickson. Skillman picked up his lone win of the year in 4 innings of work. Didn't allow a hit over those 4 innings. Struck out 8 and walked 2. That was a combined 1-hitter in that game. The pitch. High pop, right side foul territory. Could stay in. Zach Baxley back, makes the catch just into the dirt, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down for the right fielder, Harrison Dank. Dank hitting .267, 20 hits, 6 doubles, 10 RBIs. Playing in his 28th game. It was Harrison Dank last year that entered the opening game of the series in Great Bend for an injured player and took off. Dank had a heck of a year from that point and helping the Cougars go to Grand Junction. The pitch. That one's hit toward the gap left center field. Metzger on the run. He'll chase it down just short of the track. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Skillman in the first. Long run for Riley, but the Cougars go in order in the first. After a half inning, the Cougars nothing. The Blue Dragons coming up. Blue Dragons will get their first look at lefty Patrick McClure, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore from Overland Park. McClure, 3-0 with a 2.84 earned run average as the sophomore, making his 3rd start, 10th in relief. Has thrown just 12 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs allowed, 17 strikeouts, and 6 walks. He faces a Blue Dragon lineup hitting .308 with 65 home runs. And Will Reitz will lead it off for Hutchinson. Time called momentarily as something gets loose from the bullpen. Will Reitz, the freshman center fielder, hitting .302, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs. Chases a high fastball, and it's strike 1. McClure did not face the Blue Dragons in the Jayhawk West series. Reached late on that fastball, and it's 0-2. Reach was 2 for 7 in 2 games against Barton. He did have a home run. Drove in a pair. The 0-2. Over but low. 1 ball on 2 strikes the count. Reitz had a long home run in that Game 4 17-11 victory on Saturday. Pitch high and outside from McClure, and it's 2-2. All kinds of marks were set in that one. 5 home runs in that last game. That tied a team single game record. 2-2 pitch to Reitz, misses, and it's a full count. So from 0-2 to 3-2. Games 1 and 2 of that series played here at Hobart-Detter Field 5 days ago. The Dragons combined 4 runs and 8 hits in those first 2 games. Payoff pitch. Fouled back, and Reach stays alive at 3-2. Wind was howling in from center field during the first 2 games of that series. 48 hours later, the wind is blowing out to center field steadily at 30, and the Dragons had 30 runs on 34 hits. 3-2 pitch, struck him out. So Reach down for out number 1. That'll bring up the shortstop, Logan Sartori. The sophomore from Lincoln hitting .313. One of 3 Blue Dragons with 10 or more home runs. He has 10. Second on the team and 49 RBIs. Sartori's next hit will be career number 130. There's a hit to center field coming on as Coleman. He makes the catch about knee high, and there's 2 away. Now Zane Schmidt. Haven't had a chance to get the release out on it yet, but for the second time this year, Zane Schmidt named the Jayhawk Conference Player of the Week. Another 4 home run week. He had a 2 home run game in the 17-11 win on Saturday at Brent Goldfield and Liberal. Zane coming in on an 8-game hitting streak, now hitting .393 for the year. Leads the Jayhawk in home runs and RBIs with 19 and 54 respectively. Pitch taken a little bit low. The pitch. Fouled off the foot of Schmidt. Now it's 1-1. Defensively for the Cougars, Noah Geeky in left, Billy Coleman in center, Harrison Dink in right. That's the outfield. Adam Schrog patrols the hot corner at third. Andrew Stewart's at short. Brett Erickson at second. Nolan Riley at first. Chandler Bloomer gets the start behind the dish, and the pitcher, Patrick McClure. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Change-up swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Blue Dragons overall against left-handed pitching this year. .322 average, .305 against righties. 1-2 pitch. Hit well, but well foul. That had home run distance. Base is empty 2 here, bottom of the first. Another 1-2 to Zane Schmidt. Popped up. Foul territory toward the Barton dugout, but it lands on the roof. And Zane Schmidt has new life. Again, Schmidt, the Conference Player of the Week for the second time this year. That released earlier this afternoon. Schmidt was 5 of 14, a couple of home runs against the Cougars in the conference series. 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch a little bit low, 2-2. In that 4-game set, the Blue Dragons outscored Barton 29-19. Dragons swept the 2 games at Lawson Biggs Field. Then on March 15th, the Cougars ranked number 18 at the time to pitch. Called strike 3 outside corner. A little bit of a wide berth, but Zane Schmidt is rung up. And the Dragons go in order 1-2-3 in the first. We head to the second. Dragons nothing, Cougars nothing. Noah Geeky, the Cougars' leading hitter, steps up to lead off the second inning. Steve Carpenter with you. No score through one in the single 9-inning non-conference game between the Blue Dragons and the Barton Cougars. Geeky hitting .339 for the year, 56 hits, a home run, 27 driven in. Brian Skillman, who worked a 1-2-3 top of the first, misses low for ball one to start the second. It was a 9-pitch first inning for Brian. The pitch. Upstairs 2-0. Brian last pitched April 16th at Coffeyville in that 15-3 run rule win. The pitch. Ground ball left side, and that'll skitter into left field for a base hit. Hit number 57 for the season for Geeky. And the Cougars have the leadoff man aboard for the designated hitter, Trenton Ferguson. Ferguson, .277 hitter on the year with 18 hits, a home run, 10 driven in. So, runner goes on the first pitch. It swung on and missed. The throw down by McGuire. It gets through the glove of Ryan Moritz, but not far enough to advance any further. And Noah Geeky steals his 7th of the year in 10 attempts. So, now a runner at second, nobody out, and 0-1 count on Ferguson. The pitch. High chop down the third base line, fielded by Nedved. Holds the runner and fires across in time for out number 1. This might be the look of the infield for the remainder of the year, with the possible exception of Zach Baxley moving back and forth between first and behind the dish. Nedved now playing third when he's not pitching. Sartori at short. Ryan Moritz at second. Now a runner at second, 1 away. And there's a line drive to left field, but right at Riley Metzger. And Andrew Stewart retired on 1 pitch. Now there's 2 away. Third base defense has been an issue all season long for Hutchinson. And third base is actually Dylan Nedved's natural position. There's the center fielder, Billy Coleman, for the Cougars. Runner at second, now 2 away. Coleman hitting .273. 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. That pitch in the dirt and it's gobbled up by Max McGuire. No advancement by Geeky. Geeky singled through the left side, then stole second on the very first pitch of the next at bat. That came with no outs, and he's still at second now with 2 away. As Skillman tries to get the Dragons back to the dugout unscored upon. 1-0. Way high, 2-0. Skillman did not face the Cougars on the mound in that mid-March set. Time called for. Skillman did start in the field all 4 games in center, went 3 for 13, scored 4 runs. If I recall, he was hitting out of the leadoff spot. And Will Reitz has kind of claimed that as his own. Strike inner half, 2-1. Good location. Again, the Blue Dragons swept at Barton, 7-2 and 9-8. Two-one pitch. Breaking pitch misses inside, 3-1. Then 2 days later, March 17th here, the Cougars won 6-4 in the first game. And the Dragons came back for a 9-3 win in the second game. Zach Philbin picked up 2 wins in that series. 3-1 pitch. High ball 4. 2 on, 2 out now for the third baseman, Adam Schrag. Schrag hitting .224 for the year. He has 11 hits and 49 at-bats, a double, 7 RBIs. Scored 5 runs. Schrag played his high school ball right up the road at Bueller. Breaking pitch from Skillman over the inside corner for a strike. McGuire drops the sign. Skillman comes set out of the stretch, now delivers the 0-1. That breaking pitch stays high. It came out of the hand a little bit awkwardly. You could see it from our vantage point. Now it's 1-1. Real quickly defensively for the Dragons, Riley Metzger in left field. Will Reitz in center, Zion Bolin in right. Infield in a moment. 1-1 pitch. Slice foul over the Cougar, good actually into the netting. Now it's 1-2 to Schrag. Dylan Nedved at third, Sartori at short, Ryan Moritz at second, Zach Baxley at first, Max McGuire behind the dish, and Brian Skillman the pitcher. Now the 1-2. Did he go around? No, he did not. Now it's 2-2. Close. But I agree with the call. And again, I have no deciding factor in that call whatsoever. Kiki singled, stole second. 2 outs later, Coleman walked. Now it's 2-2 to Schrag. Skillman's pitch. Pop foul out of play to the right. Last year, the Cougars got on that magical postseason run that carried them all the way to the JUCO World Series in Grand Junction. The Cougars will have the trivia question for Region 6 baseball. Name the last Region 6 team to win a tournament at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, and it will be the Barton Cougars. Now the 2-2. Breaking pitch lined right to Sartori. It's short and the inning is over. Schrag hit it well, but right at the Blue Dragon shortstop. No runs to hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second. Dragons nothing, Cougars nothing. My video guru, Brandon Sam's contemplating the meaning of life. Here's Riley Metzger. Dragons looking for their first hit. They were retired in order by Patrick McClure in the first. Be a lefty-lefty matchup here. Riley stepping in. Hitting .386. Taking low for ball one. 49 hits for Riley. 5 home runs, 40 RBIs. He's starting to get back into the groove after missing 10 in a row. Pitch fouled out of the play to the left, and it's 1-1. Riley had a pretty big series against the Cougars in mid-March. 6 of 13, that's a .462 average, a double, 3 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. Here's this one high down the left field line into foul territory. 3 Cougars giving chase, and it lands into the Dragon bullpen. Metzger down to the count 1-2. Metzger out of Stillwater. Before his injury, he had 31 RBIs. Seemingly, they couldn't get him out with runners in scoring position. Hard hit ball left side under the glove of a diving Adam Schrag. And that'll be a base hit for the Blue Dragons, their first of the game. So each team gets seeing eye singles through the left side to record their first hits. Dragons have a leadoff man aboard for the third baseman, Dylan Nedved. Dylan now hitting .314, 5 home runs, 45 RBIs. He had a 2 home run game on Sunday in Liberal. Nedved was 5 for 12 against the Cougars earlier this year. No extra base hits and 4 RBIs. McClure misses low for ball one. That one's hit well to center field, but Coleman's got it tracked. Returning to first is Metzger, and there's one away. Dylan put a good swing on it, but right at the center fielder, Coleman. One out now for the first baseman, Zach Baxley. Bax now third on the Blue Dragons and hitting at .317 with 44 total hits, 4 home runs, and 28 RBIs. Hits this one to center field. Drifting back is Coleman. He's got it measured. And now there's 2 away. Dragons, usually early in the game, very aggressive early in the count. So now Metzger first 2 away for sophomore second baseman Ryan Moritz. Mo hitting .303 with 40 hits, a home run, 18 RBIs. Moritz hit .500 against the Cougars. The runner goes. And Riley Metzger is going to steal second without a throw as Bloomer couldn't handle it. Riley with steal number 3 in 4 attempts. The Dragons steal their 70th of the year. Now it's a runner in scoring position with 2 away and an 0-1 count to Moritz. He slices that one foul, and it's 0-2. Moritz, one of those against the book kind of guys, hits better off left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching to left-handed Moritz. .429 against lefties, .279 against righties. McClure comes set and delivers. Moritz spoils that offering off to the left. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Blue Dragons tied for first in the Jayhawk West with Colby at 16-8. .02 pitch. That one's looped into left field, down for a hit. Cervantes will hold the runner at third. It would have been a close play. But an opposite field single for Moritz keeps the inning alive. Runners at the corners, 2 away for catcher Max McGuire. Perhaps Jamel takes the chance and sends Riley. If Noah Geeky has to deviate to his left or right by any measure. But that ball was hit right at him and on a rope. It one-hopped Geeky. And it was a pretty easy call for Mel to make to keep Moritz at third. Now runners at the corners, 2 away for McGuire. 250 hitter on the year. 23 hits, 3 home runs, and 18 driven in. The pitch. First pitch swinging, high pop, right side, foul territory. And it lands into the Cougar dugout. Erickson and Riley were giving chase, but didn't have the room. McGuire in 4 games against Barton earlier this year, 2 for 12. Drove in a couple of runs. Both hits were singles. The pitch. Off the outer edge, 1-1. Max, the transfer from Missouri State by way of Lincoln, Nebraska. Metzger singled. Stole second, then moved around on the Moritz single. Easy toss. And it gets away down the line. This is going to allow Metzger to score. Moritz will head for third. Just getting the ball now is Erickson. And the Dragons take a 1-0 lead on the throwing error by pitcher Patrick McClure. Error. So the Dragons get a break. Pitch right in front. Bloomer couldn't find it for a moment. Now a 1-2 count to McGuire. Now Moritz at third. Looked like just giving an easy toss over. McClure missed the first base bag in the glove of Riley by a good margin. Pitch over a bit low. Good block by Bloomer. And it's 2-2. Dragons get on the board first. Hutch 21-8 when scoring first in a game this year. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, bounces away. Moritz thought about it, but didn't have enough of a secondary to get the momentum going. Bloomer got to it quickly. And now it's a 3-2 count to the Blue Dragon catcher, Max McGuire. Again, this is a single non-league game between Hutch and Barton. Cougars play Max straight away. Payoff pitch. Struck him out. The inning is over. But the Dragons cash in on the Cougar mistake, the wide pickoff throw of first. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 huge error, and 1 left. After 2, it's the Blue Dragons 1, the Cougars nothing. Want to send some congratulations out to Hutchinson Community College Head golf coach Chris Young and the Blue Dragon golf team, 2019 Jayhawk Conference champions. 8th time in school history they've done that. First time since 2016. And freshman Charlie Crockett, the individual league champion. First time since 2013 that the Blue Dragons have had one of those. They wrapped up play at Crestview South this morning in Wichita. Weren't able to complete the round because of the weather, and the Dragons had the lead after 36 holes in the Jayhawk Championship. First pitch swinging is the catcher, Chandler Bloomer, and he fouls it out of play to the left. 1-0 Hutch, top of the third. Chandler Bloomer, a freshman, hitting .244. 21 hits, a home run, 12 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch misses, and it's 1-1. Fastball downstairs, 2-1. Coming in, it's a small sampling. Again, only 8+ innings, but righties and lefties hitting just 143 equally off the left-hander Skillman. 2-1 pitch. Strike at the letters, 2-2. On pitch number 30. Two-two pitch. Fouled off. It is Bloomer, and then the top of the order, Riley and Erickson for the Cougars here in the third. Dragons taking advantage of an errant pickoff attempt by Patrick McClure at first. That allowed Riley Metzger to score. The game's only one. Bloomer reaches out and hits that one foul. Crowd growing. It's a coolish night, but comfortable. Wind not much to speak of. When's the last time we get to say that? In this very cool, windy early spring of 2019 in south central Kansas. Skillman taking his time, and Bloomer requests time, and it's granted. Two-two pitch. High pop on the infield left side. It's the third baseman, Dylan Nedved, who's got it and one away. Now back to the top of the order, and Nolan Riley. Riley flew out to right field with Zion Bolin his first time. Blue Dragon pitching set a couple of records on Sunday. I'll tell you about those after this pitch. One bounces in for ball one. And the 17-11 10-inning victory in the series finale, the Blue Dragons, 4 different pitchers, struck out a combined 19. That's a single game record by 2. Strike at the letters, 1-1 to Riley. Mike Brown, Matt Hopkins, Zach Philbin, and L.J. McDonough combined for 19 strikeouts. McDonough had 10 of those on his own. 1-1 pitch. Upstairs, 2-1. Strikeout number 16 in that set the Blue Dragons single-season team record for strikeouts with 479. 2-1 pitch. Foul back over the press box, and it's 2-2. Skillman has yet to add to that total. So the Blue Dragons break that record in 47 games. It's pretty impressive. 2-2 pitch. Curveball hit the third. Staying down on it is Nedved. He throws a strike to Baxley, and there's 2 away. Now second baseman Brett Erickson. He fouled out to first baseman Zach Baxley his first time up. Skillman's delivery swung on and missed. Challenged him high with the fastball. and it's strike one. Skillman's delivery misses high for a ball, 1-1. In Skillman's 3 relief outings, February 13th inning against Coffeyville here gave up 2 runs and 2 hits. That pitch drops him for a strike, and it's 1-2. April 9th against Seminole, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts. And then a week ago today against Coffeyville, 1 in the 3rd innings, 2 strikeouts. Very impressive in that start against the Sterling JV. 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, no hits over 4 innings. Now 2-2 to Erickson, the pitch. Got him swinging, and that's the inning. Skillman works a 1-2-3 or a third, and he is spotless through 3 with just 1 hit allowed. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Blue Dragons head, bottom half of the 3rd, leading 1-0 over the Barton Cougars in this single 9-inning non-league game. Thanks for joining us on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Sophomore Zion Bolin to lead it off against Patrick McClure. And McClure misses low for ball 1. Bolin hitting .250, 21 hits and 84 bats, 3 home runs, 21 RBIs. He had a long home run to center field. A 3-run bomb on Saturday. Hits this one while the left center field. Geeky going back, and he'll chase it down just short of the track for out number 1. Ball's not carrying. It's a lot more humid than it's been lately. And Zion jumped all over that one, but Geeky had plenty of room. And now it's back to the top of the order, and center fielder Will Reitz, a strikeout victim his first time. McClure, 2 strikeouts through the first round. Time around the order for the Dragons. Strike on the outside corner. He's given up an unearned run and 2 hits. And the error on the board is of his own doing. Took something off of that one, and Reitz was over the top of it. Now down to the count, 0-2. Will is a free swinger, but he has had some mammoth-sized home runs this year. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Bloomer will have to go to first to record the out. 3 strikeouts now for McClure, and it's 2 up and 2 down for Hutch here in the bottom of the 3rd. Now Logan Sartori, he had a long home run. A 2-run shot in the 10th inning on Sunday. Reitz led off with a double, and Sartori hit a moonshot to left. The Dragons had a 12-10 lead at that time. Hutch went on to score 7 in the inning. Pitch taken low and outside for ball 1. Twice in that series, teams had 7-run extra inning frames. 2-0 now to Sartori. Game 1 here last Thursday. It was 0-0 going into the 9th between the Dragons and the Saints. Seward County led off with a single, then the rains came. 43 minutes later, they resumed. High chopper to second. Erickson fielded on one hop. Sartori retired, and it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 spots for Barton here in the top of the fourth. Dank, Geeky, and Ferguson to face Brian Skillman, who, if he can survive this inning, will match his season-long outing of 4 innings. Harrison Dank flew out to left field his first time up. Off-speed pitch from Brian Skillman drops in for strike 1. Cougars have only 2 base runners. Another off speed. This one over the outside corner at the knee. Strike 2. Payoff pitch, high and tight. Again, just 8 games remain in the regular season after tonight. And all 8 are going to be crucial. 1-2 pitch. Found back to the netting, and it stays 1-2. The Dragons will be at Colby on Thursday for the first 2 games of that series against the Trojans, against Hutch and Colby tied for first. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Actually foul tipped into the glove of Max McGuire, 1 away. That is 2 strikeouts now for Skillman through 3 1/3 innings. Now the left fielder, Noah Geeky. He has the only hit of the game for Barton. A chopper through the left side between the 5-6 hole. Geeky also stole second, but was stranded there. Upstairs, ball 1 to Geeky. Geeky in the conference series against Hutch, 3 for 14, a double, a triple. No RBIs, but 4 runs scored, and now it's 2-0 to the Cougar left fielder. Hutch out hit Barton, 41-29 in that 4-game set. Fastball a little bit low, 3-0. The Dragons had 16 extra base hits, including 4 home runs to Barton's 11. 9 doubles, 2 triples for Barton. 3-0 pitch, over for a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike the count. Zane Schmidt had 2 home runs. Will Reitz and Zach Baxley had the others. A big cut and a miss by Geeky, and Skillman's come back to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lights are on here at Hobart-Detter. Overcast afternoon. 3-2 pitch. Lost him. Tried the slider on the inside corner and just missed, and it's a 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Skillman. Again, when Geeky singled in the second, he went on the first pitch. Now Trenton Ferguson, who grounded to third baseman Dylan Nedved his first time. Ferguson was 1 for 9 with a double and an RBI in the conference series. Skillman move over to first. Ferguson played in all 4 games in the series. He walked twice and was hit twice, also struck out 4 times. The pitch. Off speed for a strike, a beauty. 0-1 to Ferguson. Barton stole 4 out of 7 bases in that series. 0-1. Chased a high fastball. Swung on a miss. 0-2. Kiki away from first. Doesn't go, and it's a swing and a miss for out number 2. 3 strikeouts now for Skillman. His season high was 8 against Sterling on April 3rd. Now a runner at first, 2 away for the shortstop Andrew Stewart. Stewart lined out to Riley Metzger and left. The pitch. Fastball at the knees, strike 1. The Dragons have not clinched a Region 6 home first round yet. The muddled up mess of the Jayhawk West. There are so many scenarios. The 0-1. High pop, shallow right. Could be trouble. On comes Bolin. Still coming. He's got it, and the inning is over. Long running catch by Zion Bolin. And the Cougars are done in the 4th. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. St. Schmidt leads off the bottom of the 4th for Hutchinson. The newly named Jayhawk Conference Player of the Week for the 2nd time this year. Zane drops down a bunt. It rolls foul along 3rd. So the conference's leading home run hitter tries to okey-doke the Cougars with a bunt single. Now 19 home runs. He is 2nd in the nation in home runs. He is now tied for 2nd on the all-time single. All right, let me clarify that. Tied for 2nd on the Hutchinson single season list. The 0-1. High fly ball, shallow center. In comes Coleman. Out goes Stewart. And it's the second baseman, Brett Erickson, who comes in and makes the catch. 1 away. Just wanted to make sure who it was. The player with the longest run actually makes the catch. So 1 away for Riley Metzger, who singled and scored the game's only run. He singled, stole 2nd, moved to 3rd on a Ryan Moritz singled and scored on an errant pickoff attempt at 1st. Moritz swings and misses. 0-1. Getting back to Zane Schmidt, the 19 home runs. That pitch taken in the dirt. 1-1. He's tied with Brad Flanders on the single season list with 19, already up to a tie for 8th on the career list in Blue Dragon baseball history with 19. Single season record's 31 set by Caden Doge. That fastball from McClure misses low and outside, and it's 2-1 to Metzger. Career record 41, also set by Caden Doge. 2-1 to Riles. Ground ball right side. Brett Erickson, the second baseman, gobbles it up, and there's 2 away. Metzger now 1 for 2, and that'll bring up third baseman Dylan Nedved. In game number 2 of the Seward series, he had his second 12-game hitting streak snapped. He's now hit safely in 14 of his last 15. And takes outside ball 1. Nedved lined out to center field his first time. Hit it right on the screws, but right at Billy Coleman, the center fielder, who hardly had to move to make the catch. High and tight, 2-0 to Nedved. Our next network broadcast will be Saturday against Colby. Open Space Sports will carry the first 2 games of the series. 3-0 now to Nedved. Zach Baxley is on deck if Dillon can extend the inning. Bases empty, 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Hutchinson. The cripple, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Nedved. So now Zach Baxley. Baxley saw a 7-game hit streak come to an end in Game 2 against Seward County. That the come-from-behind 4-3 walk-off win in Game 2 of that series. Runner goes on the first pitch. Line to left field. That's down for a hit. Nedved will stop at second. The Dragons have their 3rd hit. Baxley's first, and it's 2 on, 2 out for Ryan Moritz. Moritz singled his first time up, opposite field shot to left. So 2-out opportunity for Moe to increase his 1-run lead. Pitch taken low and in, ball 1. Moritz hitting .250 with 7 2-out RBIs in 2-out situations. The 1-0. Hit down the left field line, but it's going to go foul. One to one the count to the Dragons sophomore second baseman. Nedved away from second. Baxley not being held on at first, but a safe lead. 1-1 pitch. Line right side, and that hits the runner, Baxley, and the inning is over. So Moritz will be credited with the single, with Baxley out on interference. So no runs, a couple of hits, and 2 left. We go to the 5th. Hutchinson 1, Barton 0. Top of the fifth rolls around here at Hobart-Detter Field, 1-0 Hutch. Cougar center fielder Billy Coleman leads it off. He walked his first time up. Brian Skillman back to the mound, and it's low ball 1. Completing the fourth, Brian tied his season-long stint on the mound of 4 innings. So with each out recorded from here on out, that will be a new season high for him. The left-hander kicks and fires. Fastball for a strike. That was pitch number 60 as we enter the 5th inning. I got 1-1. The pitch. Downstairs for a ball, 2-1. Down at the bottom in the black buttons. 2-1. The lefty end of the wine, the pitch. And on the hands, fouled back. Now it's 2-2. Skillman 4 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. He's allowed just 1 hit, no runs. The pitch. High pop right side. Baxley and McGuire both give looks, but it's well out of play. With the first win on Sunday at Seward, the Blue Dragons won 30 games in the season for the 26th time in school history. Baseball has been around at Hutchinson since 1975. 2-2 pitch from Skillman. Foul back. The Dragons have won 30 or more games in 6 straight seasons under head coach Ryan Schmidt. Only the first year the Dragons, the first year of the Schmidt tenure in 2013, that the Dragons failed to win 30. 2-2 pitch. Off speed, misses low, full count. Skillman's walked a couple. Here's the payoff. Ground ball left side. Sartori on the backhand. Strong throw to first. 1 away. Good play by Logan. Coleman 0 for 1. And now the third baseman, Adam Schrag. Schrag, a line drive right to Sartori at short to end a potential jam in the second. It's the only time Barton's had more than 1 runner on base at any one time. Fastball at the letters for strike 1. Hutch is out hit. Barton 4-1. Pitch upstairs 1-1. On that play to end the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan Moritz is credited with a base hit. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-2 to Skillman. For scoring purposes, Moritz is given a hit on that, but Baxley has retired 3 unassisted out on interference. So that's how that scoring goes. 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. And it's 1-2. So Mo has a 2-hit game working. He's 2 for 2. Unfortunately for the Dragons, the ball hit Baxley and the run did not score. The pitch. Line fair down the left field line and into the corner. Extra bases for Schrag. Moritz gets to it and fires it back in. It's a 1-out double. First extra base hit for the Cougars, their 2nd hit of the game. Skillman was kind of flirting with danger. He was locating up. Gotten away with a couple of pitches, but that time Schrag jumped on one and ripped it past third baseman Dylan Nedved, who was playing off the line. And now it's the catcher Chandler Bloomer. He popped up to third his first time. Fastball to knee, strike 1. So the Cougars have the tying run in scoring position with less than 2 out here in the 5th. Out of the stretch, the 0-1. It's off the glove or bounces in and goes back to the screen. Be a wild pitch. So Schrag at third now with one out, and Skillman in danger of giving up the tying run. And with that pitch, a herd of Blue Dragons heads down to the bullpen. Dragons will give up the run for the out. The pitch. Fastball off the plate wide, 2-1. That was pitch number 75 for Skillman. That one's fouled at the plate, and now it's 2-2. Shout out to my good friend and Barton SID, Todd Moore. Got to hang around at Crestview South yesterday for the JAC Conference Championship. Todd, one of the best SIDs in the league. We appreciate everything he does for the JAC Conference, and me personally, as him and I both work on the Sports Information Directors Board of Directors. 2-2 now. Skillman to Bloomer, the pitch. Got him swinging on a high fastball. There's 2 away. So Bloomer strikes out, and it's back to the top of the order and first baseman Nolan Riley. Riley in mid-March was 4 of 13 against the Dragons. 3 doubles, 6 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. 0 for 2 so far today. He's flown out to right and grounded to third. Runner at third, 2 away, 1-0 Hutch. Off speed, taking out the knees on the outside corner for strike one. Nicely delivered pitch from Brian Skillman. The 0-1. Curveball misses high. That's the old 12-6 variety. 1-1 the count. Now to Riley. The pitch. Upstairs, 2-1. First time the Cougars have had a runner at third so far against Skillman. 2-1 pitch. Riley wouldn't chase a high fastball, and he's ahead in the count. 3-1. First base is occupied, so Skillman doesn't have to come with one right down Peachtree. The pitch. Great pitch outside corner at the knees, full count. That was a quality delivery from Skillman. He gets the sign that he likes and comes set. Skillman's 3-2 pitch. Lifted to right field, down the line, long run for Zion Bolin. Crossing into foul territory, makes the catch, and the inning is over. 5 scoreless innings for Brian Skillman. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. Halfway home at Hobart-Detter Field. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. 1-0. The runs unearned, scored on an errant pickoff attempt by Barton pitcher Patrick McClure, trying to pick off Ryan Moritz, but that allowed Riley Metzger to score. That came in the bottom of the second. And that's the only run of the ball game. Dragons hitting bottom half of the fifth. It's McGuire, Bolin, and Reitz. And Max, it's a mile-high pop-up to shallow right. Erickson, the second baseman, gets under it for out number 1. McGuire 0 for 2, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Zion Bolin. Zion has got his workout in today. He's made 2 really long runs for catches. And with his speed, made it look relatively easy. Strike on the inside corner. Bolin, his first time, flew out to left. 57 pitches now for Patrick McClure. There is action in the Cougar pen. That pitch way outside. Brian Skillman, no runs, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Through now a season-long 5 innings. We'll see if he comes out for the 6th. The 1-1. Foul off to our right. Bolin down to the count 1-2. Bolin played in 2 games against Barton in mid-March, was 3 for 7, 3 RBIs. All 3 hits were singles. That pitch bounces in at about 55 feet and chews Chandler Bloomer up. He's okay. Now the count's 2-2. The pitch, low and outside, full count. Lights have been on since first pitch. I've yet to see the new lights here at Hobart-Detter Field fully going at night. We'll come about as close as we will any time this season. Payoff pitch, strike him out. Good location for McClure over the inside corner. Bolin strikes out. 2 away now for leadoff hitter Will Reitz. That is now 5 strikeouts for McClure. 4 hits, 1 unearned run, 1 walk in 62 pitches. Reitz has struck out twice, both swinging. 3rd time around the order for the Blue Dragons. A pitch inside. Of course, Will Reitz, the nation's leader in hit by pitches. Reitz now with 24 plunkings. Jam shot, fisted foul over the Cougar dugout. 2 other Blue Dragons in history have led the nation in hit by pitches. Brandon Doherty in 2006 and Matt Jones in 2014. 1-1 pitch. Off-speed offering, misses low and away. Will wouldn't bite. Now he's ahead in the count, 2-1. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. 2-2. Reitz hitting .360 against left-handed pitching, .289 against right-handers. McClure's 2-2. Bounces in, full count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And it's a very quick bottom of the 5th inning for Hutchinson. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 6th. The Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Blue Dragon head coach Ryan Schmidt goes to the bullpen for the first time. It'll be freshman right-hander Dawson Linder. 6'5", 195 pounds. Again, a freshman right-hander out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Linder making his 10th overall appearance, 5th out of the bullpen. 2-0 record with a 3.93 earned run average. Linder has worked 18 in the third innings, allowed 13 hits, 10 runs. He has struck out 22 but walked 19. Opponents hitting just 200 against him. But Linder has given up 4 home run balls. Linder will get 2, 3, and 4 here in the Cougars' 6th. Hutchinson leading Barton 1-0. Erickson, Dank, and Geeky, 5 shutout innings. A season long for Brian Skillman. He can win it, cannot lose it. Brett Erickson 0 for 2, fouled out and struck out. First pitch from Linder. Hit well to left field. Back goes Riley Metzger. He leaps at the track and makes the catch. 1 away. Another good running catch by a Dragon outfielder. Erickson lines out. He's 0 for 3 now. Sophomore right fielder Harrison Dank. No hits in 2 trips. Last time out for Linder, April 16th against Coffeyville. 1 in the third innings. Gave up a hit, 1 run, but walked 4 and struck out 2. Strike outside corner. Linder has made 4 starts, all midweek type starts. His longest outing was 5 against Redlands in a 6-1 win. Fastball over but low. 1-1 the count to Dank. Only one of his previous outings he's not walked at least one as Linder. And pitch outside. Has all the usual pitches, fastball, change-up, curveball. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back by Dank, and it's 2-2. So Skillman has made a strong bid to be part of the weekend staff from going forward the last 2 weeks of the regular season into the postseason. 5 shutout innings. 2-2 pitch. Low and outside, 3-2. The most hits Dawson Linder's given up in any one game is 3, and that was his debut on February 13th against Coffeyville right here. Payoff pitch, he lost him. 1 out walk to Dank, and that'll bring up the left fielder Noah Geeky. Noah has singled and stole a base in the second, walked in the fourth, 1 for 1. Geeky now a team-high 57 hits for Barton. Neither team has turned a double play so far in this one. Linder's pitch. A low one in, ball 1. Linder has a season high of 5 strikeouts twice against Cali on March 19th here at Hobart-Detter Field, and 5 against Redlands on April 2nd. Also here at Hobart-Detter. The pitch. Low ball 2. And all of a sudden, as what's been happening with Dawson lately, his command has escaped him. You can see by the way he reacted receiving the ball back from Max McGuire, he's not happy with himself. Dank away from first. He's a threat to go. Doesn't go here. Ground ball right to short. Sartori to second for 1. Moritz back to first. That's a double play, and that's the end of the inning. 6-4-3, twin killing. And the Cougars are turned away in the 6th. No runs, no hits, nobody left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Barton head coach Brent Biggs dips into the bullpen and brings out sophomore Colton Crisp. 6'2", 190-pound sophomore from Remington, Kansas. He will face 2, 3, and 4 here in the Hutchinson 6th. Sartori, Schmidt, and Metzger. Crisp on for the 17th time. 2-5 with a 2.70 ERA. Sartori first pitch swings and pops it up into shallow center field. The shortstop, Andrew Stewart, makes the catch. And there's one away here in the Hutch 6th. So, Patrick McClure works 5 innings, 1 unearned run, and 4 hits in his outing. Good strong outing for him. Bases empty, 1 away for designated hitter Zane Schmidt. They check. Schmidt checks his swing for ball 1. Zane 0 for 2. Right now he's got a team-high 8-game hitting streak on the line. That fastball misses high, and it's 2-0. Dragons scored their lone run in the 2nd. Two and one now. Royals at Tampa Bay tonight. Pitch sails outside 3-1 to Schmidt. After Zane, it will be Riley Metzger. Strike on the outside corner. Zane got rung up on a very similar pitch in the first. Thought about tossing the bat, but held on to it wisely. And now he'll face a payoff pitch from Colton Crisp. The pitch. Strike him out. Crisp appeared in 1 game in mid-March when an inning and 2/3 and allowed 1 hit and struck out 1 in the series. March 15th and 17th. Bases empty, 2 away for Riley Metzger, 1 for 2. He has scored the game's only run. Chases that Crisp offering. 0-1 the count. Overcast skies, but very comfortable today. It's really easy to say sitting in a press box. Pitch fouled out of play to the left.
78-degree press box.
0-2 the count to Riley Metzger. Metzger played straight away at all 3 outfield positions. The 0-2 from Crisp. Fastball misses low, 1-2. Riley has 14 multi-hit games this year, including 1 4-gamer. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball slowly hit the second. Erickson charges. Fields throws. And Colton Crisp comes in and works a solid 1-2-3. We head to the 7th. Dragons 1. Cougars nothing. Defensive change for the Blue Dragons. Jeremiah Caesar takes over for Will Reitz in center field. And the Cougars will have a pinch hitter coming up to lead off the top of the seventh, Carson Zenger, a freshman out of Westmoreland, Kansas. Pinch hitting for the designated hitter, Trenton Ferguson. Dawson Linder back to work for his second inning and misses high with a curveball. So Reitz now in center for the Blue Dragons. And Zenger, the pinch hitter for the Cougars. The 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball 2-0. The pitch. High pop down the right field line. Baxley Moritz giving chase. It's Baxley near the tarp. He makes the catch for out number 1. Now the shortstop, Andrew Stewart. Stewart, a couple of fly ball outs. He lined to left and flew out to right. Nothing for 2. Wind in the pitch. Breaking pitch of beauty from Linder. Strike 1. Right over the outside corner at the knees. Can't ask for nothing much more than that. Well delivered pitch. Here's the 0-1. That one sails outside. 1-1 the count. Linder on for his second inning. He allowed a 1-out walk in the 6th. There's a hit to left field on the run. Metzger, he dives. Did he get it? Yes, he did. It's a web gem for Riley Metzger in left center field, and the fans let him hear it. Full out, head-on dive, and Riley Metzger makes the play for out number 2. Stewart robbed of extra bases. That's 3 good ones by Riley. 2 away now for Billy Coleman, the center fielder. Wow, what a catch. Linder's pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Well, if we get that good, Brandon, I think. Beautiful. Guess what you're doing later? Strike call, what it was.
I don't know what I've done personally to you today, Sakina. I'm in a good mood today.
Linder working out of the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, just misses. Close pitch, 2-1.
Lucky me.
Riley not known for being a high-level defensive player, but he has been nails out there in left today. Topped by that diving catch a moment ago. 2-1 pitch from Linder. Fastball to knees outside corner, a strike, 2-2.
How far into the stream are we?
Max McGuire drops the sign into the wind.
Right around there.
Now into the wind. The 2-2 from Linder. Ground ball left side in the hole. Sartori sets. Long throws high. Throw gets past. Backing up the play is Linder. It'll be a hit and an error. It's an infield hit and a throwing error on Sartori, allowing the runner to go to second. Third hit of the game for Barton, the first error of the game for Hutchinson. It's going to be a tough play to get him. Sartori was deep in the hole, but the throw was way high for Zach Baxley. Now the tying run at second base with 2 outs. And third baseman Adam Schrag, the batter. Big moment for Dawson Linder. A little bit of adversity tonight with the tying run at second base. So he can put the error out of his mind and get back to work. The pitch. On that pitch he did. Lively fastball for strike 1. Dragons have now out-hit Barton 4-3. Linder steps off and right back aboard. Linder checks the runner, checks him again. Now the 1-0 pitch. Curveball stays high. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Brian Skillman worked 5 scoreless, allowed just 2 hits. Struck out 4 and walked 2. Now Linder into his second inning. The pitch. Fastball way outside, 2-1. Ryan Moritz at second base, running through some signs. Ryan's still getting used to playing second base. They made this switch game number 2 against Seward County a week ago. They moved Moritz to second, Nedved to third. Good pitch from Linder. Strike on the inside corner at the knees, 2-2. You have first base open, so Linder could still pitch on his terms. Big righty comes set. Now delivers the 2-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did. That's the inning. Actually, that was a called third. Either way, the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. Stretch time at Hobart-Detter. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Dylan Nedved lead off the bottom of the 7th here at Hobart-Detter Field. Hutch leads Barton 1-0. And Colton Crisp delivers an off-speed pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Nedved thus far 0 for 1 with a walk. He lined out to center in the second. Ball 2. Nedved's next hit will be his 134th. He is currently 13th on the all-time list. Ground ball to second. Big hop for Erickson. And Nedved's retired 1 away. Now first baseman Zach Baxley. Back so far, 1 for 2, a 4th inning single. Flew out to center in the second. Backs now with 45 hits for the season. Crisp pitch. Nice changeup, swung through and missed. And it's 0-1. Dragons at Colby, 1 in 3:30 on Thursday. Open Spaces Sports will have coverage of that. Rich Epp on the call. I'll be back here on Saturday, 1 in 3:30. Back swings and pops one up. Battle play to the right. And Baxley's down in the hole, 0-2. Chris working exclusively out of the stretch. The pitch. Fastball. Baxwood and chase, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. In that 10-inning game It's grounded up the middle. Bax is aboard. 5th hit of the game for Hutchinson. Bax now 2 out of 3, and now third baseman Ryan Moritz. Couple of singles. His single in the second set up the go-ahead run when Riley Metzger scored on the errant pickoff throw by Patrick McClure. His last time up, Mo ran into some bad luck. Thought he was going to get an RBI out of it, but his single hit Baxley on the base paths. Baxley was out on runner's interference. Mo still got credit for the hit. Ball 1 to Moritz. Baxley did steal a base against Seward County. His 6th steal of the year in 7 attempts. Moritz swings through that offering, and it's 1-1. Bullpen quiet for the Dragons, so we expect Dawson Linder to return for the 8th. The 1-1. Breaking pitch, strike at the letters, 1-2. Time called as the pitch is delivered. Mo better thank his lucky stars that time was granted because that was a great pitch. We talked about the righty-lefty dynamic, lefty hitters versus righty pitchers and vice versa. How when you face your opposite, you normally hit better. Not in the case of Ryan Moritz. 1-2 pitch, off speed. Popped up, shallow left down the line. 3 players giving chase, and the third baseman, Schrod, can't come up with it. Everybody will reset. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The thought is a left-handed batter can usually pick up the ball out of a right-handed pitcher's hand much easier, thus making it easier to hit. And the same way with a right-handed batter versus a left-handed pitcher. And the numbers normally bear it out that left-handed batters hit better off right-handed pitching and vice versa. In the case of Ryan Moritz, that's not the case. 429 against lefties. He bloops this one down the left field line. It's going to hook foul. Ryan Moritz, a left-hander, 429 against lefties, 279 against righties. But as I say that, over the last couple of years, Blue Dragon hitters, not just Mo, but several Blue Dragon hitters have had that same statistical setup. As a numbers guy, I just find it interesting. Move over to first. Throw nearly got away from Nolan Riley. He has to go down to his knees to block it. I think Baxley also helped blocking it. He was back in safely. Safe lead over at first by Baxley. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball high and tight, 2-2. Max McGuire on deck. Crisp gives a look, now delivers. Good swing by Mo to fight that one off. Moritz had a very rough early start to the season. I think got on a streak where he hit almost 380 over a 24-game stretch. Leveled off a little bit. Now he's starting to swing a hot bat again. This is the right time for Hutchinson. There's the 2-2 from Crisp. Strike him out. High fastball. Moritz strikes out. 2 away now with a runner at first for catcher Max McGuire. Max has only seen 4 pitches. He struck out on 3 pitches in the second. Went first pitch hacking and popped up to shallow right to the second baseman, Brett Erickson, his last time. Dragons about hit Barton 5-3 in this one. The pitch. Breaking pitch, a beauty from Chris, but it's a strike. Lone run coming in the second. Unearned run, but they count none the same. The pitch. Strike at the knees. McGuire's down in the count, 0-2. There's action in the Barton bullpen. The 0-2. High and tight. 1-2 to McGuire. Baxley singled with 1 out. He has 2 hits. Moritz has 2 hits. And 4 of Hutchinson's 5 safeties. Back starts edging out the lead at first. Does not go. McGuire swings and misses to end the 7th. 1 out single by Baxley comes up with nothing. Dragons are stranded 4 through 7. We head to the 8th. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Top of the 8th rolls around at Hobart-Detter Field. Steve Carpenter with you on the Blue Dragons Sports Network. And the Blue Dragons do have a new pitcher. It is Cade Fenton. Third pitcher of the afternoon. Brian Skillman goes 5 scoreless. Dawson Linder goes 2 scoreless. And it is 2-0 to the catcher, Chandler Bloomer. Dragons with a 1-0 lead. Fenton's pitch. Fastball for a strike, 2-1. Fenton, 6'2", 195-pound redshirt freshman out of Prairie Grove, Arkansas. High fly to left, Metzger back and to his right. He's got it just short of the track, 1 away here in the Cougar 8th. Now it's back to the top of the order, and first baseman, Nolan Riley. Cade Fenton, 0-1 in his 10th appearance now, a pitch high. 5.19 ERA for Cade, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 11 runs, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks. Opponents hitting .216. Good lively fastball from Fenton for a strike, and it's 1-1. Breaking pitch outside, 2-1. Fastball right at the corner, but it's called a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike, the count now to Riley. Riley 0 for 3 so far. 3 fly ball outs. And he pops one down the left field line, giving chases the shortstop Sartori, making the catch in foul territory, and there's 2 away. Two away for second baseman Brett Erickson. Erickson 0 for 3. He lined out to Riley Metzger and left. Shows bunt and pulls back for ball 1. These were the top 2 preseason picks in the Jayhawk West in 2019. High fly ball to right. Zion Bolin broke back, now in. He's got it. And it's an 11-pitch inning for Cade Fenton in the 8th. 3 up and 3 down. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Lefty Jacob Enns into the game for the Cougars. Brent Biggs, third pitcher of the game, faces Zion Bolin, who hits a chopper down the third base line. It's bobbled by Schrag, and it'll be an error to lead off the 8th. So the Dragons have taken advantage of one other Cougar error. Now center fielder Jeremiah Caesar. He came in to replace Will Reitz in the 7th inning. Caesar hitting .282 with 22 hits, 2 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs, and he takes strike 1. Bolin a threat to go at first. Now with the lefty ends the pitch. Jeremiah shows bunt and takes a slider outside for ball 1. Count even at 1-1. Ends on for the 10th time. 2-2 record and a 4.50 ERA. That pitch misses and it's 2-1 to Caesar. If Jeremiah would happen to plug a gap here and the Cougar defense is playing deep, there would be a track meet of major proportions on the base path. That ball is butted. Ends, fields, and throws on to first. So the sacrifice works 1-3. Bolin to second. Caesar puts down his 3rd sack bunt of the year. That's something that Hutchinson did not do well over the weekend against Seward County, was execute the short game. Now Logan Sartori. He is way up in several career charts as Logan. 0 for 3 here. First pitch from End is a breaking pitch inside, and Logan checks his swing. 129 total hits, 14th on the career list, 129 runs. That's already number 3 on the Blue Dragon career list. Outside 2-0 to Sartori. 105 RBIs. Logan's tied for 10th in that category. 35 doubles. He's tied for 4th. 8 triples. Tied for 3rd. The pitch. Way outside. 3-0. 19 career home runs. He's tied for 10th. 41 stolen bases. He's tied for 13th, and 237 total bases. Logan Sartori is 7th. All those are on the career charts. Strike called to Sartori, and Logan chucked the bat. Now he's going to have to return and probably have about 3 inches on each side of the plate against him. Zane Schmidt on deck. Big insurance run out at second base, and Zion Bolin with 1 out. Ends comes set and delivers. Strike 2 called, and you knew it was coming. And now Sartori's chucked the bat twice, and he's really going to have to protect. 3-0 to 3-2. Ends comes set. Checks the runner at second. Now the 3-2 to Sartori. Inside. Or did it hit him? Must have hit him. He called time, so it had to have hit him. Either way, Sartori's aboard. I don't think it hit him. There'll be a conference at the mound with the Cougars. Not sure if that's Brett McBride or Alex King. I'm sure which one serves as pitching coach. But I think what they're going to do is talk strategy against Zane Schmidt. Bolin reached on the error. Jeremiah Caesar sacrificed him to second. Sartori was hit with a pitch. Now Zane Schmidt looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He has struck out twice and popped up to second. Tied on the single season list with 19 home runs. Absolutely no wind. Slider from ends for strike 1, outer half. Thank you, Todd. Todd Moore from Barton telling me that it is Brett McBride that went to the mound. The pitch. Good pitch from ends at the knees. Nothing in 2 to Schmidt. Zane's been in these little streaks where he takes a lot of pitches and ends up taking a lot of called thirds. The 0-2. Slider low and away. 1-2. Schmidt, one of 3 Blue Dragons with 13 called third strikes this year. Make that 14 with the one earlier in the game. 1-2 pitch. That one's hit the left field, right at Geeky. He's got it for out number 2 and hustles the throw into third. No advancement. Now it's first and second, 2 away for Riley Metzger. Riles 1 for 3. He has the game's only run. He singled in the second, stole second, moved to third on a Ryan Moritz single, then scored on an errant pickoff attempt at first by Patrick McClure. One of 2 Cougar errors in the game. Big slider from ends, misses low and away, ball 1. Bolin at second. The pitch. Rounded up the middle. Second baseman Erickson gets to it, wins the race to the bag, and the Dragons are done in the 8th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. We had the 9th at Hobart-Detter. Dragons 1, Cougars nothing. Zach Furniture will try to close it out here in the ninth. Hutch leading 1-0. I have to go back through the record books to see if this would stand. The last 1-0 game in Blue Dragon history, and I think it's been a while. It's been such an offensive era. But a great pitcher's duel. But it's going to be 3, 4, and 5 here in the Cougar ninth. Here's Harrison Dank, the right fielder. Ball 1 to Dank. Numbers on firm. 1-2 record with a team high 3 saves and a 4.08 earned run average. That one's hit down the left field line. This is in the corner. It's going to be trouble. Extra bases for Dank. Metzger will get it in. It's a leadoff double for the Cougars to start the ninth. So the tying run aboard with nobody out for Furniture. Now left fielder Noah Geeky, Barton's leading hitter. Geeky 1 for 3. Cougars now with 4 hits. Third baseman Dylan Nedved playing behind the bag. Furniture's pitch in the dirt. McGuire can't find it, and that'll be a wild pitch. Furniture took the loss in game number 1 against Seward on Thursday. He started the ninth, gave up a single and a stolen base, then the rains came. Then Seward County promptly scored 7 runs out of the rain delay to win that 7-0 in 9 innings. That was Firm's last outing. Now the Cougars have the tying run at third base, and Ryan Schmidt pulls the infield in at all 4 positions. 1-0 Hutch, top of the ninth. It's Furniture versus Geeky. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to center. This is going to tie the game up. Still going back is Caesar. He'll chase it down. It'll be an easy tag from third by Dank, and we're tied at 1. So Dank, a leadoff double, moved up to third on the wild pitch, and then scores on the Geeky sac fly. Geeky driving in his 28th run of the year. Now base is empty, 1 away for the designated hitter Carson Zenger. Strike called. So Brian Skillman will now get a no decision. 5 scoreless innings. Breaking pitch from Furniture misses inside, and it's 1-1. Absolutely no wind at all here at Hobart-Detter Field. The flag in left center, completely still. That one's hit wall left field. Metzger's not going to get to this one. It's down for a hit. He chases it down. Runner's going to try for 2. Throw, not in time. Gets through, but Baxley backs up to throw. And it's a 1-out double. Furniture left that bell high middle in, and it was easy pickings for Zenger. 2 doubles now in the inning, or the hits are tied 5 apiece. Riley got to the ball fairly quickly, but he had no momentum going back toward the bag. That gave Zenger the opportunity to take the extra base. Now shortstop Andrew Stewart. Matt Hopkins starts throwing in the pen, and Ryan Schmidt pops out of the dugout. And the call to the pen is being made. Matt Hopkins comes in to try to keep this at a 1-1 game. We'll take this break on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. So the Cougars tie it up on a geeky sack fly after Harrison Dank led off the ninth with a double. Dank over his Cougar career has thrown many daggers at the Blue Dragons. And he gets one more in here. It's now tied 1-1 with a runner at second base and one out. And Ryan Schmidt calls on Kingfisher, Oklahoma sophomore Matt Hopkins, 5'8", 170. Matt had 5 strikeouts in that 19-inning combined record on Saturday against Seward County. 1-1 record for Hopkins, on for the 13th time, 1 save, 1.66 earned run average. Hopkins has now worked 21 2/3 innings. He's allowed 19 hits, 21 runs, but only 4 have been earned. He has struck out 34, walked 12, and opponents hitting .224 against. Fastball, nasty slider are the 2 main pitches of Matt Hopkins. And he gets shortstop Andrew Stewart. Stewart's 0 for 3, but he's hit the ball well all 3 times. Breaking pitch. Misses low, ball 1. Stewart was robbed of extra bases on the headlong dive in left center field by left fielder Riley Metzger a couple innings ago. The 1-0 from Hopkins. Strike inside corner. That's 2 straight sliders. Sometimes Matt will fall in love with that pitch and throw it repeatedly and hang one out over the plate. He's been stung many times over his Blue Dragon career doing just that. 1-1 pitch. That one's hit left field, and the Cougars are going to have the lead. He hung the slider and it went out over the middle of the plate. Zenger scores 3 doubles in the inning, and Barton leads it 2-1. 3 straight sliders. So Stewart and Zenger change places, and Cougars have a 2-1 lead. Again, this is a non-league game. This is the last non-league game the Dragons have. 8 after this one. 4 against Colby, 4 against Cloud. Now center fielder Billy Coleman. Still just 1 out in the inning. The Cougars have plated 2. The pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 1. Matt Delcom now throwing, a left-hander in the Dragon pen. Barton's had half their hits here in the 9th. Pitch inside nearly hit him. Coleman was working on it, couldn't buy the call, but it's 2-0. To the Cougar center fielder. High ball 3. If the Dragons are going to make a deep run in the postseason, the bullpen has got to become more consistent. At times brilliant, like we saw on Sunday at Liberal. That one did hit him. Would have been ball 4 anyway. 2 on, 1 out now. For third baseman Adam Schrag, as the wheels have started to come off in the 9th inning for Hutchinson. Five brilliant innings by Skillman, 2 very good innings by Linder. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Took something off that slider. Schrag misses over the top. Fenton pitched a scoreless 8th. The Cougars have come up with 2 against Furniture and Hopkins here in the 9th. Check swing foul, 0-2. Again, congratulations to the Blue Dragon men's golf team. They won the 2019 Jayhawk Conference Team Championship, and freshman Charlie Crockett was the individual league champion. That became official this morning at Crestview South in Wichita. The 0-2 from Hopkins. Good slider, doesn't get the call. That was a pretty good pitch. They appeal. Took 4 times to get the field umpire's attention. You know he's not going to call it a strike by that time. 1-2 pitch. That slider strikes him out. Now there's 2 away. Now the 9-hole hitter, catcher Chandler Bloomer. 0 for 3. He has popped out, struck out, and flown out to left. The Dragons will have Nedved, Baxley, and Moritz up in the bottom of the 9th, now needing a run to stay alive. The pitch. Slap foul off to the left. Bloomer out of Ottawa, Kansas. One of the best Legion programs in the state. Resides in Ottawa. The 0-1. Fastball over but low, but not by much. Still it's 1-1. Dragons will be back here on Saturday. We need a huge crowd out here, so tell everybody to come out to the ballpark and support the Blue Dragons as they go in quest. There's a shot to right center field. Bowen on the run. He will chase it down in the alley, and the inning is over. That keeps the Dragons with a legitimate shot at it in the bottom of the 9th. But Barton comes up with 2 runs on 3 hits, and they strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Our new score, Cougars 1, Cougars 2, and the Dragons 1. Big right-hander Joe Richter comes on for the Barton Cougars to try to close this one out. A 6'1", 180-pound freshman. Another Nebraska product out of Lincoln residing in the Jayhawk. Richter on for the 15th time, 4-1 record with 1 save and a 2.88 earned run average. On for the 15th time, 34 1/3 innings pitched, 27 hits, 12 runs. He has struck out 24, walked 9, and has given up 3 home runs. He faces 5, 6, and 7 in the Dragon 9th, Nedved, Baxley, and Moritz. So the Dragons give up 2 in the top of the 9th on 3 doubles. Zach Furniture stands to be the loser if the Dragons cannot rally. Dylan Nedved 0 for 2 with a walk. Dragons need a base runner to get it going. Pitch taken inside, ball 1. There's a strike. Dragons 1-8 when trailing after 8. So that's a dubious record that needs to be turned around. The 1-1 from Richter, breaking pitch, fouled off into the parking lot to our right. And Nedved hits from a 1-2 hole. Out of the line, Richter. Breaking pitch way outside. Count now 2-2 to Nedved. Dragons have now been out hit 5-3. Moritz 2 hits, Baxley 2 hits, Metzger 1 hit, and that's it. 2-2 pitch. Low and outside, full count to Nedved. Here's the payoff. Hit to right field. That's down for a hit, and the Dragons have the tying run aboard to lead off the bottom of the ninth. And for Dylan Nedved, he's now hit safely in 3 straight and 14 of the last 15. Here's Zach Baxley, 2 hits, couple of singles. Dragons have 6 hits, all singles. Barton has 6 hits with 3 doubles. Richter pitched twice against the Dragons in mid-March. That pitch hit him. Or is it a foul ball? It is a foul ball right off the knob of the bat. Bax squared to bunt. Richter went up and in. Bax could not get the knob of the bat out of the way. It's strike 1. Richter made 2 appearances through 7 innings. Got the only Barton win in that series. That coming in the first game here on March 17th. Struck out 6, walked 2, allowed 5 hits and 2 runs. Gave up only 1 extra base hit, a double. Good speed in Dylan Nedved at first. He's being held on by Nolan Riley. Back shows bunt. He pulls back, but it's called strike. Now it's 0-2. So now Baxley hits from an 0-2 hole. Nedved was down in the count 1-2 and got a hit. The 0-2 pitch. Little looper to center, but it's going to be playable for Coleman. Traveled out there a little farther than it looked like. Dragons expend 1 of their 3 final outs. Runner first 1 away for Ryan Moritz. Moritz 2 for 3, a couple of singles, and he struck out swinging. Nedved has 12 steals on the season, 12 out of 14 the pitch. Outside, ball 1. The one win, it said the Dragons were 1-8 when trailing after 8, came against Garden City. That was the 3-run bottom of the 7th, or I guess that wouldn't have been that game. Swinging a miss by Moritz, and it's 1-1. That game went 7 innings, so my apologies. Zane Schmidt had that walk-off 3-run bomb against Garden City, but that was a 7-inning game in the first game of that series. Richter comes set and delivers. Pitch in the dirt, kicks away, and that's going to allow Nedved to move to second on the wild pitch. So now the Dragons have the tying run in scoring position, less than 2 out. Chandler Bloomer is going to go talk to Joe Richter. When Mo is swinging right, he's tagging left field and left center field. He's got double power the other way. Left fielder Noah Geeky and center fielder Billy Coleman playing very deep for the Cougars. Nedved the tying run at second base, 1 away, 2-1 Barton, bottom of the 9th here at Hobart-Detter Field. Richter comes set and steps off. Dragons trying to rally. Led all the way into the ninth. Here's the 2-1. Good swing by Moritz. He fouls it back. And the count now even at 2-2. Max McGuire on deck for Hutchinson. Actually a pinch hitter, Christopher Noble, on deck as I look down there. Last time Noble had a pinch hit, it was a big-time pinch hit, a grand slam in that 7-run 10th inning against Seward County. 2-2 line, left center field. That's going to be a hit, and the game's going to be tied. Here comes Baxley to score it. Morris is going to try for 2, and he'll reach without a play. We're tied at 2 as Ryan Moritz comes up with a huge 2-out double. Zach Baxley scores, and we're tied at 2. Just like I said, left center field. Excuse me, Nedved scores, not Baxley. My apologies. 2-2. And now Chris Noble will be the pinch hitter. I mentioned what he did his last time on Sunday when he pinch hit a grand slam. Right now a base hit would do it. Noble for the season, hitting .283, 15 hits, 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. As a pinch hitter, he's 2 for 5, and they intentionally walk him. You don't have to throw the pitches in college baseball. So that will put the force back on, and Zion Bolin will be the hitter. Bolin, then Caesar. Now we're going to have a pinch runner at first base for Noble. It'll be Ethan White. So White runs for Noble, put a little more speed on the base paths. So now the Dragons looking to walk it off. Bolin 0 for 3. He hit the ball hard his last time up and reached on an error. Zion, good power to right and right center. They play him slightly to pull in the outfield. The pitch. Strike called. Good pitch from Richter. Zion also a double play candidate. You get a lot of highs and lows of Zion at the plate. The 0-1. Pitching on the hands, foul back out of play. Jeremiah Caesar is in the on-deck circle. Now tied at 2. An RBI double by Ryan Moritz, scoring Dylan Nedved. Nedved started off with a single against Richter. Time called. Nedved single. Baxley flew out to center. Nedved moved up on a wild pitch to second and scored on the opposite field double by Moritz. The pitch. Way outside, nearly got away from Bloomer. He saves 90 feet. Count 1-2. Good speed at second in Moritz. Excellent speed at first in White. So the Dragons have gotten off the deck to tie it up. Now they look to walk it off. 1-2 pitch. It got away from the catcher, and that will move everybody up. A wild pitch charge to Richter. Now, wouldn't be surprised if Brett Biggs intentionally walks Bolin to load the bases. 2-2 the count to Zion Bolin. First base now is open. The infield in for the Cougars at all 4 positions. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, tied 2-2. Richter comes set. The pitch. High pop toward the Cougar dugout. It's out of play. You'd love to see Bolin get a fly ball with some moderate depth to it. Moritz, good speed, not great speed. Center fielder Billy Coleman very shallow in center, as is Harrison Dankin right. If you get one over their heads at that depth, the Dragons are going to win it. 2-2 the count to Bolin. Two-two pitch. Curveball, high, full count. So the chess game is upon us. Again, first base open. You don't have to throw a fastball if you don't want to if you're Richter. And if you're Bolin, you've got to be cognizant of that fact. Here's the payoff pitch. It's a fastball. That's a chop to short. Off the glove of the shortstop, and the Dragons win it. Dragons get the walk-off, an infield walk-off single by Zion Bolin scores Ryan Morris, and the Blue Dragons win it 3-2. What a ninth inning for Hutchinson. No, ninth inning altogether. Hutchinson wins it 3-2. We'll wrap it up right after this. One run combined through the first 8, 4 combined in the bottom of the ninth, and the Blue Dragons walk it off to defeat the Barton Cougars 3-2 to go a season-high 16 games over 500, now 32-16. Steve Carpenter back with you in the Blue Dragon postgame. A wild ninth inning to say the least. Hutchinson took a 1-0 lead into the 8th. Barton comes up with 3 doubles to take a 2-1 lead. And then craziness ensued. Dylan Nedved gets a single to start things off. Zach Baxley flies out. Nedved moves up on a wild pitch. Ryan Moritz doubles the opposite way to left center field to tie the game at 2. And then pinch hitter Christopher Noble was intentionally walked. He's pinch ran for by Ethan White. And Zion Bolin on a 2-2 pitch with the infield drawn in. Hits a chopper to short that shortstop Andrew Stewart couldn't come up with. Do or die situation. It was scored a hit, and the Blue Dragons win it 3-2. The totals in this one for the victorious Blue Dragons. Now 32-16. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 6 left on. For Barton, 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 7 left on. The winning pitcher, Matt Hopkins, he improves to 2-1. Joe Richter takes the loss. He drops to 4-2 in the time of ball game, 2 hours and 24 minutes. Kind of lost in the hero part of the ninth was 5 scoreless innings by pitcher Brian Skillman. He started the game, allowed just 2 hits, struck out 4 and walked 2. 2 scoreless innings by Dawson Linder and a scoreless 8th by Cade Fenton. Dragons had just 8 hits on the afternoon. 3 from Ryan Moritz, though. For Mo, that is his 3rd 3-hit game of the year. He drives in 1, scores 1, going 3 for 4. That was the only extra base hit for Hutchinson. Baxley went 2 for 4, and then single hits each from Metzger, Nedved, and Zion Bolin, and he had the game winner, and the Dragons get the win 3-2. So now the non-conference games are over, just 8 games remaining. Hutchinson will travel to Colby to begin the battle for first place. Both Hutch and Colby tied atop the JAC West with 16-8 records. The first 2 games will be at Colby on Thursday, 1 and 3:30, and then the scene shifts back here to Hobart-Detter Field. We would love to have a huge crowd. Also, between games on Saturday will be sophomore recognition ceremonies. That's the plan for the weekend, but right now the Dragons enjoying a 3-2 win over Barton. They take the overall season series with Barton 4 games to 1, but winning 3 of the 4 important ones, those designated league play. Again, this is a non-league game. We'll be back with you again Saturday afternoon, 12:45 airtime, 1 p.m. first pitch. Games 3 and 4 against Colby. And then we'll see what happens next week in terms with the Cloud County series. Obviously, we'll have the games here against Cloud County a week from Thursday. And we'll see what happens on the games at Concordia on Saturday to close out the regular season. My thanks to my entire crew. We appreciate you being out here on this Tuesday afternoon. Everybody got a free T-shirt. That's a good thing. So all my students are happy. Even Brandon Sams is happy for the first time in like a month. But Blue Dragons win it 3-2. We'll talk to you again on Saturday afternoon. Until then, Steve Carpenter from Hobart-Detter Field. So long, everybody.